If you want to know how to make money with ChatGPT, specifically GPT 4.0 or 5.5, the latest model, the e-learning industry is your biggest untapped opportunity. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to use prompt engineering and AI-generated content to produce full curriculums, lesson scripts, and quizzes so that you can launch a highly profitable online course this weekend. You've been told to build a course the right way. Get a business license, hire a designer, spend 6 months on curriculum, and then spend another 6 months trying to sell it. Meanwhile, ChatGPT just launched its latest model, and someone in a Discord server somewhere that you've never heard of already has built a 7-figure course sold entirely through a free landing page builder and a bot that answers customers' questions automatically. You're following the old playbook. Meanwhile, they completely rewrote the game. Oh my gosh, everybody. Before I continue on with this amazing episode, this is episode 555 of the Dark Horse Entrepreneur. We started this journey, not all of us have been together. Some of you have been around the whole time, but we started this journey back in 2020 when all the craziness happened. And here we are 6 years later, 555 episodes deep. And I appreciate every single one of you here. I just wanted to take a moment to say that. Okay, so this is the part where most people stop listening because they think they need something they don't have. And here's what is exactly true, especially when it comes to building an online course. Everything that you need to launch a profitable niche course exists for free or costs less than a coffee subscription. You don't need Kajabi with that $199 a month plan. You don't need Teachable. You don't need Thinkific. The person winning isn't the one with the biggest budget. It's the person who understands the asymmetry first. And this is what I want to walk you through. So let me walk you through that, exactly how to do that. Now, the first thing you're getting wrong is thinking the course comes first. Trust me, I'm raising my hand. I've been there. It doesn't. The riches aren't in the course. They're in the problem that you choose to solve. And here's the gap that most people miss. The problem you pick determines whether ChatGPT can actually solve it or whether you're about to waste 3 weeks of prompting and end up with a generic AI-generated content that nobody is going to be willing to pay for. You need a niche so specific that when you say it out loud, people will either nod immediately or they're going to look at you like you're insane. You don't want something like digital marketing for entrepreneurs. No, you don't want to have something that says, hey, how to make money online. Those, my friends, are graveyard niches, especially with AI. Everyone and their fourth cousin is out there teaching those. But what you're hunting for is something like how to turn your Reddit post history into a LinkedIn personal brand in 30 days. You feel the difference? Yeah. Or how about this? The exact email sequences that convert cold leads into B2B clients for service providers with under 500 followers. You see the difference? One is so specific that it's searchable. The other, the first ones, are so generic that they really become invisible. And here's how you go to find it. You're going to go into Facebook groups, Discord communities, Reddit threads, and Slack groups where the people with money are already congregating and they're complaining. Yeah, you're not looking for the biggest problem. You're looking for the repeating problem. The one you see mentioned 3 times in one thread. There's a person out there willing to pay $250 to solve that problem and to solve it quickly. And the beautiful part is they've already written your sales page for you. You're just going to plagiarize their complaint language. Now, you're going to want to validate, and you validate before you build anything. And this is where ChatGPT steps into the game, but not in a way that you think. I want you to open up ChatGPT, and this is where basic prompt engineering is going to pay off. You're going to create a prompt that sounds something like this. I'm creating a micro course for, put in your specific niche, write me 5 objections that people in this space would have about learning this skill. For each objection, write a 2 to 3 sentence counter argument that addresses the emotional concern, not the logical one. Run that 5 times with different angles. Screenshot the responses. Those objections are going to become your sales messaging. They're not just theory anymore. They're the voice of your customer because you've literally extracted them from the problem space. Then you're going to do something even more valuable. You're going to spend 48 hours collecting case studies, but not your own. I want you to find real ones. Find 3 people in your niche. They don't even need to have taken your course yet. And then you ask them for a specific win. What's the one thing that you tried that didn't work? And then ask them, when did you realize you were wasting money on the wrong tools? You record their voice saying these things, with their permission, of course, or you get their permission to quote them directly. This becomes your proof before your course ever exists. Prospects see themselves immediately because they're literally hearing their own story in their headphones from the voice of the person you recorded. This is the part where you stop thinking like a course creator and you start thinking like a real business person. You're going to build your sales funnel before your product. I know it sounds backwards, but it's not. It's how you avoid spending 4 weeks building something that nobody is ever going to buy, that nobody wants. You get your landing page for free. All right. You could go to Card or Webflow. You can use their free tier. Your email list builder is free. Plans like ConvertKit has a free plan, or Beehive. For payment processing, you're going to use Stripe. It's free to set up and it takes a small percentage per transaction. So you don't pay anything until you're actually making money. You're not paying for software up front. You're not paying for fancy design. What you're doing instead is you're using specificity and urgency as your design. Okay, here is a concrete structure for your sales page that ChatGPT can draft in about 20 minutes. Headline, you're going to want a headline that contains the specific outcome and timeline. You want a subheadline that creates discomfort. Then a section called The Problem, where you've pasted the real complaints from your research that you did. Then why you failed before. This is where you list the myths, the wrong tools, and the wasted time and anything else you found out in your research. Then the solution. But here's the key. You don't describe your course. You describe the result. You describe what's possible on the other side, and then you add social proof, and then you ask for their email. ChatGPT can write all of this. You're not a copywriter, but ChatGPT can be, right? Your job is to feed it good data and then edit it for specificity. A generic headline that ChatGPT produces is useless. But if you say, I'm creating a course on specific skill for specific person, and here's what they told me their biggest fear is, and then you add in the feedback you got during your research, suddenly the copy is going to sound like it was written by someone who lived inside that Discord community, inside that Slack channel or that Reddit community. Now, let's get to the course itself. This is where most people really overcomplicate things. You don't need modules. You don't need 17 lessons. You don't need to upload it into a full learning management system on day one. You need a solution sequence, 5 to 7 sections that map directly to the problem your customer said they had. Each section is about 10 to 15 minutes of video, not longer. Shorter videos convert better. Short videos, well, let's be honest, they're easier to film, and short videos feel more valuable because they're dense, right? They're packed with powerful nuggets. You're filming these on your phone. You could use Descript to edit because it's free for the first 3 hours per month, and that's enough to clean up 5 videos. You're using a script that ChatGPT generates based on this prompt engineering principle. You're going to put in something like this. Write me a 400-word script for a video about a specific topic that someone with zero background could understand. Use analogies, use real examples, and end it with one specific action that they should take. Take that AI-generated content. That is your first draft. You're not publishing it raw. You're editing it with your own voice and real examples. All right, Descript will transcribe for you. You clean it up. Descript makes the video. You're not going to have to touch anything like Adobe or anything out there. You're not spending 12 hours editing or learning how to edit in the first place. You're spending 90 minutes per video. And this is the psychological moment where most creators are going to fall completely apart. They're watching themselves on video and they're thinking, oh, that doesn't look professional. The lighting is bad. The audio in the room has noise, right? And so what they do is nothing. They don't ship. They spend another month getting it perfect, he says with air quotes. Meanwhile, the person in the Discord who shipped something good enough is already collecting email addresses and making refinements from real potential customer input. They didn't fall into the trap. Imperfect and shipped beats perfect and invisible every single day. Now, you're going to be launching to 3 audiences. Your email list, which, let's be honest, starts with 0, but you are adding to it. A free community where your niche hangs out, and this is important, people who are actively searching for that solution right now. So they're hanging out in that community and they're actively looking for that solution. That's important. And the last part is where free YouTube shorts and TikToks come in. Not for followers. That's a vanity metric. You want that for traffic to your email list. 1-minute video, a problem statement, a promise of solution, and a link to a free resource that captures their email. All right, ChatGPT writes the script. You film it twice because it probably looks weird. Descript will edit it for you. You post it and you move on. right? And this is where the trap opens up a lot wider, and you're about to step right into it if you're not careful. But luckily, you're here on the dark horse, so maybe you'll avoid this together. Most people at this stage think they need to be an expert in their niche. They're not. They think they need to have done what they're teaching. Mostly, they don't. What actually matters is that you're one step ahead of your customer and you're willing to keep learning, even learning publicly. You can teach someone how to build a personal brand if you're doing it in real time and showing your results. You can teach someone how to create a digital product if you're building one with them. The certification, I think it's irrelevant, but speed is everything. Here's the conversation I don't think anyone's having, and that's why you're here on this show, right? Because you want the nuggets that no one's sharing. You're not just creating a course to help people. You're creating a course to build an asset that makes you money while you sleep. Yes, but also you're positioning yourself as someone who understands a problem, that little narrow problem so deeply that you're able to monetize it. That asset, that email list we talked about, that proof of concept that you just went through, and that revenue. It's what makes your next offer even more valuable. It's what gets you speaking gigs. It's what turns a $1,000 course launch into a $100,000 consulting contract 2 years later. Those are potentials, right? Honestly. But the person who gets there isn't the one who's obsessed over perfection. Stop it. It's the one who shipped messy, failed publicly, but adjusted quickly. ChatGPT is your compression tool. It takes what would have taken you 3 weeks and squeezes it down into 3 days. I'm not going to say 3 minutes or 3 hours, trying to be honest with you here. The time you save by not overthinking design, not learning some new editing software, and not rewriting your copy 17 damn times, that's where the actual win is going to live. One last thing. And this is the part that engineers guilt. You're going to have customers who want refunds, hard stop. But they want refunds because they didn't get the results they wanted. Some of them won't even watch the course. Some of them will blame you instead of themselves. You're going to have to decide whether you're the kind of person who gives the refund or the kind who asks the questions first. And that's not a business decision. That is a character decision. And whatever you choose right there, that's the kind of business you're building. Not the one you announced, the one you actually are. The course doesn't change you. The shortcuts don't change you. The money doesn't change you. The decision you make when no one is watching, that changes you. Ship something imperfect today. Would you, please? Perfect. Okay. Now, before we go any further, if this is hitting home for you, you're getting a little bit of value from it. And if you're sitting there thinking, well, shoot, I could actually do this, then I want to make sure you got the roadmap to back that feeling up before it goes away. And the AI Escape Plan newsletter was built for exactly this moment. If you're saying, I could actually do this, that's the moment I want to get your attention. Every week I send, actually it's multiple times a week now, I send practical AI-powered strategies straight to my busy entrepreneurs and busy parents who are done trading time for a paycheck. No fluff, no hype, just real tools, real steps, and real talk, all designed to protect your family time while you build something that actually pays you back. You could call it your weekly roadmap to more money, more freedom, and more of what truly matters. Go on over to darkhorseinsider.com to get on the list, because the parents who win aren't the ones who had the best idea. They're the ones who had the right system and actually showed up. So don't just listen, build. Okay. So before I leave you this week, I want to give you the whispered wisdom for today. The course that you create does not make you. The decision you make when no one's watching, that's what makes you. You can have the best AI tools out there on the planet. You can have ChatGPT writing amazing copy, just script editing your videos perfectly, and a free landing page that converts like crazy. But none of that matters if you do not ship your product. So here's your one action I want you to take. And I want you to do this today, not tomorrow, not after you've thought about it for another week. As soon as you're done listening to this episode, open up a blank document right now. Go ahead while you're listening. If you're driving, think about this in your head and write down one specific problem that a group of people that you know are struggling with. Not a broad topic, not a make money online topic, one painful, repeatable, specific problem. The kind you've seen mentioned 3 times on a Reddit thread or in a Facebook group that you're a part of. That's it. One problem written down today. Because that single sentence, that one specific problem is your front door to your gold mine. You just have to find it before you start digging. It'll save you a lot of digging if you do. Okay. So let's bring this all home. Today we talked about how to use AI, specifically ChatGPT, and the tools already sitting probably on your laptop, on your CPU, and in your pockets to build and launch a profitable online course without a big budget, without 6 months of prep, and without sacrificing your family time to do it. You don't need perfect. You need shipped. You don't need some guru's blessing out there. You need a specific problem and the guts to solve it. And you don't need to do it alone. That's what a community is for. And if this episode gave you one idea worth acting on, do me a little favor. Share it with another person that you've seen sitting on the sidelines. Go ahead, forward it to them, text it to them, maybe drop it to them in a group chat. Because the best thing that you can do for someone you care about is to hand them a map when they're lost. Now, go build something. Go ship something. Shoot, go do something. Think successfully and take action.